These are some geraniums and petunias. That's what the photographer said, and he saw these this afternoon and thought you might like to see them too. They were blooming on Raymond Drive. Everything ought to be blooming because it's still 80 degrees out there at 10 o'clock. Clear skies. Wind is from the southeast at 10. The humidity a soggy 77%. And as we said, the apparent temperature, or the way it feels outside, is in the upper 80s. It is very humid out there. Barometer rising at 29.87. I wouldn't count too much on that barometer because the line of thunder showers is right across here. Reaches from in Minnesota all the way down just now into the northwestern corner of Iowa, across much of eastern Nebraska, Kansas. Well, you know what comes after that. It goes all the way down into Colorado. Here, nothing, and the good part of this is it has spawned no violent weather. We did for a while have a severe thunderstorm watch. That's expired. It won't be extended. And there is a chance of seeing some thunder shower activity in northwestern and western Iowa, but frankly not very likely to see any thunder showers across the rest of the state tonight, unless this thing starts moving a little faster. Let's take a look at computer radar. We'll show you how it looks right now to the computer. It was all the way up there to northern Minnesota. This is the area just south of the International Falls where they had 5 inches of rain earlier today. Very heavy rains also down here in Nebraska and in western Kansas. Colder air coming in behind us. To show you the movement, here's how it looked at 5. So it is now considerably less intense and considerably wider. And as you see, it's moved a little bit to the north or to the south and east. Also very easy to see where it is on current temperature spread right through here. 60s and 70s behind it. This 58 is over in Rapid City. Meanwhile, the warmer air moving ahead of it, very easy to pick that out too. Still 72 in Chicago, 65 up in let's see, Milwaukee, right. And it's 81 over in the Quad Cities. Very warm just south of us too. So once this does start to move through, we will eventually see some thunder shower activity, and then coming in behind it, much cooler weather. At this hour, though, most of the state of Iowa in the lower 80s, Dubuque reporting 79, still 86 over in Sioux City. Very gusty southerly winds, so that's why it's so warm on the northern end of things. Here's how that line looked at 6, and here's how it looks now. Much less easy to identify. It's much less of a fine line, but still plenty of thunderstorm activity all the way along that, as we said, into Colorado and all the way down into western Texas. High pressure center here, that's not helping us any. It's just reinforcing the strong southerly flow of air. Very humid, as you know, right ahead of that. This air is not only drier, it's much cooler. There are highs in the Dakotas today in the 70s, 90s on the warm side of things. Here's the wedge right in here, 59 up in International Falls. Desert Southwest, a little bit deserty, 90s. And in the southeast, 80s and 90s today. Really, much of the country not too uncomfortable. Our highs all the way from 93 over in Mason City, Omaha, Council Bluffs. Over in Davenport, it was only in the 80s. They managed to just barely stay in the 80s. And tonight, lows in the 70s, a gusty southerly wind, chance of showers, as I mentioned, in the western part of the state. By tomorrow, very humid, and highs mid-80s to lower 90s with that southerly wind at 10 to 20. Still a chance of thunder showers as that system moves across the state. Mostly clear skies here right now, but very humid, and lows in the low to mid-70s with a southerly wind. We could see some increasing cloudiness as the night wears on. By tomorrow, a high near 90, partly sunny and humid with a 40% chance of thunderstorms. Those are likely to occur at any time as the front finally begins to move. Good chance of thunderstorms Wednesday night, very warm with a low near 70. And finally, cooler on Thursday with highs in the low to mid-80s, 30% chance of thunderstorms and another chance of rain on Sunday. A little bit of a warming trend. Friday looks real cool at this point. At 10 o'clock, it is still 80 degrees, and we want to remind you of the How High on the 4th of July contest. Worth entering because the first prize is $1,000 and there are 8 $100 second prizes. All you have to do is guess what the high temperature will be in Des Moines on the 4th of July as determined by the National Weather Service, and send your guess to us at 4th of July High, Box 8888, Des Moines, Iowa, 50301.
All right, thanks a lot, Connie. More than 10 Iowans have died of AIDS, acquired immune deficiency syndrome, and the problem here is minuscule when compared with other parts of the country.